hit record now before I forget. All right, hopefully you can see the screen. So what it means to be resourceful in this business. I'm going to jump right into it because you all know we have a time limit on these calls. And if we do click off, again, come back in through the same link. So what we're talking about when we talk about being resourceful in this business is really, now that you started this business, you now are a business owner. You own your own business, which means it's now you, right? It's your responsibility to grow your business and for your own success. Whether I'm here or not, it's still, you have access to all the exact same tools that the rest of us have access as well. The one thing that I love about this business is that when we all start, we start on an even playing ground. No matter what our backgrounds are, no matter what our education is, no matter what our experiences are, we all come into this on the same level. We are all given the exact same resources to use. And our successes as a coach comes down to purely how we use those resources. Some of us go do our own thing and don't tap into those resources, and some people who tap into them find a bit more success, right? So it's really how you use those tools that you're given. So, and the best part is, I mean, really, you have no one to answer to now, right? You don't have to get approval. This is so unique in the sense that it's not a 9-to-5 job. There's a lot of people that start this business that are still in that work job mentality, that they have to ask permission if they need to go, take a 20-minute break somewhere, or you need to ask to go do this, or you need to ask to have a day off. You don't have to do that in this business. And for some people, having that more control over that sometimes can get out of control with it, right? Creating a structure for yourself in this business and knowing where to find these resources are really going to help when it comes to feeling overwhelmed with this business. The biggest reason I feel when new coaches start that you get so overwhelmed is because there's so much information out there that you don't know where to go to find your answers, and you get overwhelmed because it seems like there's so much, right? But in reality, you only need to know what you need to know at that moment. You don't need to know it all. You just need to know where to go find your answers to those questions when you have them, right? So this is the only business where you are going to be encouraged to be you and when we say be you, meaning just you, whatever it is, perfect or imperfect, through sharing that is the best possible thing you can do here. If you have a shitty workout, share that you had a shitty workout today. If you wanted to go have a cheat meal today, but you stopped yourself, share and talk about that, because that's real life. And nobody can identify with being perfect all the time, because nobody's life is perfect. So the biggest thing we're going to talk about tonight is where the heck you go and find all this stuff. Like, what is available to you? Because there's so much available to you, right? And it's in different places. So knowing which place to go to find those answers makes finding them quicker, easier for you. And the more you do it, the more confidence you gain. It's just like everything else in this business with inviting, everything. The more you do it, the more confidence you gain. And you can't gain the confidence until you do it, right? It's all about action. So what's available out there to you? There's access to all of our trainings. There's access to information on all the programs, like information as in what the program's about, who it's designed for, right? Access to 30-day posting guides for all your challenge groups. There's podcasts about Shakeology so that you can learn more about Shakeology. There's YouTube. There's thousands of YouTube trainings out there and informational videos. So like our program videos or Shakeology videos. And there's thousands of resources supplied by larger teams. So like on our team, the Fit Boss Nation, the Fit Boss Drive has thousands of things on there, well, hundreds of things on there, right? There's so much information out there for you. Where do you find all these things? So your Coach Online Office, if you go up to your menu bar on the Coach Online Office, you will see a button called Marketing Tools. Under Marketing Tools, that's where you're going to find all your information on all the different challenge packs and who they're for, all the different programs, who they're for, what they were designed for, what they're all about, which gives you talking points for when you're trying to decide what program goes for what person. Again, it goes back to you're a business owner now, so it's your responsibility to find these things out. Go in, spend some time. It only takes 10, 15 minutes. Go in and look at a couple, read through them and see what they're all about if you don't know what they're all about yet. You don't need to know all the programs, but you should have a general idea of what they're all about. Also, when you're in your Coach Online Office, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the screen, you'll see a little tiny button that says FAQ, which is your facts, your facts and questions. If you click on that, it has every answer to every question you could possibly have. Everything is listed in there. It's all laid out for us. Besides that, in your online office as well, there's also the trainings tab. Under the trainings tab, there's all your trainings are under there, right? Whenever you're in doubt with a question, and you're in doubt with a question, maybe you have a question about your pay, maybe you have a question about one of your customers' orders, maybe you have a question about whatever. When in doubt, contact Coach Relations. What I used to do when I started, I had zero of all this. I had zero. When I started on my own. I had to go find this stuff out on my own. I was thrown into 1,000 different groups. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know how to sign people up. I figured that out on my own. I didn't know where to go to find out any information on anything. I had to figure this shit out all on my own, right? Now, with you guys, 2.5 years later, you guys have all this information at your fingertips, right? So for someone to come to me and say, I don't know where to find this, I don't know, it means you just didn't look, because it's there. All the information you possibly could need is there at your fingertips. Our team page. If you go into our team page, Divine Nation, go into the file section, there's all kinds of things listed out in there. On our team page, at the pinned post has the new coach trainings. If you're in doubt about some things, go back through the coach trainings, go back through different pieces of the coach trainings and relearn it as you need to know it. Because the thing is, when you start, the biggest thing to keep in mind is that nobody knows anything when they start, and that's okay. You're not expected to know everything right off the bat. You're not. I am 2.5 years in and I still don't know everything. I still really can't tell you about volume. I mean, I would go learn it first before I told you, but that's what you need to have. That's the resourcefulness you need in this business. If you don't know something, you need to be able to say to someone, hey, you know what? That's a great question. I'm not really sure of the answer right now, but let me go find out and I'll let you know and I'll get back to you. That's what I used to say to people. I'd be like, I'm not really sure, because I'm just new at this too, and I'm not really sure about that. That's the first time I've been asked that. That's a great question, and I'm going to go find it out, and I'll get back to you and let you know, right? Again, that also shows your honesty and your professionalism, right? Not making stuff up as you go along. So you have all the trainings in there. You have in the team page also, if you go in the search bar, there's the FitBoss Drive in there. I've uploaded the FitBoss Drive into our team page, so everyone has access to that. Barring all of those places, you can go to YouTube, you can Google, you can go to Pinterest. It's all out there. This was said to me once when I started this by one of the top coaches, and they said this in an off-the-cuff statement on one of our calls, but I remember him saying this. This business boils down to a couple of very basic things. The number one key to this business is you doing your workouts, following the plan, and sharing that with people. That's the number one thing. If you're not following a fitness program and getting your own results and talking about it, then you don't have a business, because that is that's the basis of our business. That's where it all starts, right? And then from there, the next step is If you know how to copy and paste, you know how to use YouTube, look things up on YouTube, and you can Google something, then you can be successful at this business. This business is not complicated. It's not. It's everyone else and how we worry about things or overthink things that make this business complicated. We ourselves make this business complicated for ourselves. But at the basis, when you boil it all down, this business comes down to following a workout program, drinking your Shakeology, getting results, and talking about it. That's what this business boils down to, right? And then from there, everything else is simple copy and pasting, sending links from YouTube, and Googling something if you don't know what it is. Like, that's what it all comes down to. Google is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And not comparing yourself. This is a trap that we all fall in. And I fall into this trap all the time. there's still a couple of coaches right now that I can't even look at their Facebook pages, or it gets me so upset that I just log off. I can't do it. I can't go there. So I just don't do it anymore. I've unfollowed them all. I just stay in my own lane and I just do my own thing, right? So when you start comparing yourselves to others, that's when it all starts to go haywire, right? Because you don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. You don't know, right? You don't know. They're probably out there inviting every single day, and you may not be, right? They could be out there making sure they're sticking to their workout programs, getting results, inviting people, running badass challenge groups, and you may be doing those things, but may not be doing those things, right? Like, those are the little tiny differences. They could be out there inviting everyone they meet to the coaching opportunity, and you're not, right? Those are the little tiny differences that make the big picture, right? So you can't compare yourself to somebody else, especially if you start with, like I said earlier, two people can start at the same time, and how you use the resources that are given to you determines how you take the road, right? So for me, a lot of times when you guys start, and I've heard you all say this, well, I don't post like you do, or I can't do what you do. I can't run challenge groups like you. I can't do this. I can't do that. You're comparing yourself to me. Whereas I'm 2.5 years into this. So when I started exactly where you guys are. I started right where you guys are. I didn't have these resources. I had to figure this shit out on my own. When I started, I had never even been in a challenge group. I didn't even know what a challenge group was. I didn't know what posting guides were. I had no idea. I didn't know how to run a challenge group until the day before my first challenge group started. I did not know how until the day before the first one started. I messaged Brooke and freaked out. I was like, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing, but my challenge group starts tomorrow. What do I do? Right? And then she told me about the posting guides. Up until that point, I didn't even know they existed. I had no idea because I'd never been in a group and I never knew how they ran. I figured it out as I went along, right? That's it. I failed forward. That's it. So you need to, where you're sitting now and where I'm sitting, it's 2.5 years difference. So you need to look at where you're sitting, from where you're sitting, and hey, listen, I need to learn this stuff. And then 2.5 years down the road, if I keep doing what I'm doing, that's where I can be, right? It doesn't happen overnight, and it's not going to. It's just like our fitness journey. It's about setting realistic expectations for yourself. Again, no one expects you to know this stuff from the start. This is all a learning curve for all of us. There was many, many nights I was so overwhelmed. I was in tears, so overwhelmed. In July of 2015, I turned diamond. In August of 2015, it was the worst month I've ever had. I had the best month, and then the next month following that, I had the worst month ever, and I was like borderline ready to quit because I was crying. I couldn't handle it anymore. It was so much. I was cracking. But when I stopped and took a step back and calmed down, I realized, you know what? I wasn't doing my personal development. I wasn't doing all the things that I had been doing before. I had just put it on coast and just started, was like, okay, I did what I had to do. I got to diamond. Now what, right? I did what a lot of people do. They just stop. They take their foot off the gas and they just stop. It's not it. This business is about action and momentum and personal development. As much as everyone talks about it, it took me over a year to finally put the 2 and 2 together, that personal development is the key. I messaged my coach today and was like, man, I feel like a failure. Like, I feel like a failure. Like, I'm back from vacation. I've got nothing in the tank. I don't know where to start. This, and this. And she's like, what are you reading for personal development right now? That's the first question she asked me. And I was like, I'm not. And she's like, well, there's your problem. I'm like, I know. I got to get back on that. Which is why come September, we're all going to start doing personal development together. Those 2 books that I posted, we're going to read The Compound Effect first together. And then we're going to read Rock Your Network Marketing together in September, not October. 2 books in September. Okay? If you need to learn more about using YouTube, then you need to take that upon yourself to go learn it. If you need to learn about Google Documents, then go learn it. If you need to learn how to use Canva and do, pictures and stuff, go learn how to do that. Take it upon yourself to go learn those things. There's all kinds of free tutorials out there. There's all kinds of free trainings out there. Don't let the excuse of, I don't know how to do that, hold you back. If you find yourself saying, I don't know how to use that, then that's when you need to stop and go figure out how to use it, right? Google it. There's 12-year-old kids out there with YouTube videos that I can teach you how to YouTube stuff, like how to take a picture with my Mac laptop. There's it's a keystroke to take a picture on your screen. I had to go Google how to learn how to do that. I had to Google everything. Hootsuite, our scheduler, I had to go take the tutorial to learn how to schedule my posts. Like, you need to if you need to figure out how to do it, you got to go figure out how to do it, right? So, what's out there? When you go to YouTube, so this is where what each platform can offer you, right? So YouTube, there's all kinds of training videos out there. And if you're going to go to YouTube and watch any training videos, Melanie Mitro is the #1 to be watching. If you're going to watch anyone's videos, Melanie Mitro's is it. Behind her would be Bonnie Engel. Caleb Thomas has some really nice short, like 5 to 10 minute videos, short, sweet, to the point. And Anita Moran has some very good training videos as well. There's other coaches out there. If you connect with other coaches, then by all means, watch their videos. But those are the ones where you'll get the most bang for your buck when you watch their videos. YouTube as well for the Team Beachbody site. That is where I go to find all my workout programs. So when you go in there, all you have to do is go to the search bar and search Team Beachbody 21-Day Fix, Team Beachbody Core to Force, Team Beachbody 22-Minute Hardcore. When that pops up, you want to make sure that you look to see who posted it and make sure it's the Team Beachbody that posted it, because there's a lot of other coaches that post as well. And normally I always take a minute to watch those videos, because normally if you watch another coach's video, at the end, it'll say, sign up with me, or it'll have their email address or something. You don't want to be sending that to one of your prospects. You want to make sure it's the Team Beachbody video. Also, this is a huge one. When you're talking to someone who maybe has an issue, maybe they have high blood pressure, diabetes, fibromyalgia, whatever it is, guaranteed there's probably a YouTube video about somebody talking about their experience with that and Shakeology. So just the other day, I have a girl I'm talking to with PCOS. I went to the Team Beachbody site. All I did was go up and search, and I searched PCOS and Shakeology. And boom, all these videos popped up of all these women's stories about PCOS and Shakeology, right? So I found one that I listened to, one of them that matched her story of what she's struggling with, and I sent her that video. I asked her, hey, listen, I have a fellow coach that struggles with PCOS as well, and I want to share her story with you. Would you watch it if I sent it to you? And she's like, yeah, I'd love to watch it. I'm like, okay, great. So I sent her the story, right? And it matches. Come to find out, this woman has a cyst as well. And this woman in this video had a cyst, and 9 months after starting to drink Shakeology, the cyst disappeared on its own. Like, crazy. So there's so many videos out there. So when you're talking to someone about that, and Shakeology might be the hang up, again, you want to make that connection with them. Go to YouTube, find a video that matches their story, what they're struggling with, someone else's story, and send that to them. Our job is to provide them with information, answer their questions, and give them a little bit of education in there, right? It's not about us talking our face off to try and convince them. We don't need to convince anybody. That's not what we're here for. Provide the information. And that's what YouTube and sending videos can do. You can also find on YouTube, if you search Shakeology videos, there's all kinds of videos. There's the 100 Doctors Don't Lie. That's a great video to send people about Shakeology so that they learn more about what Shakeology is all about. So that's a good one. 100 Doctors Don't Lie. You can search that one too. On Google, so Google's the one that I would go to. So when I first started, I didn't really use Pinterest when I first started, but I used Google. So if I was looking for something like a muffin recipe, I would go to Google and Google 21-day fix muffin recipe, and boom, all these websites pop up of other coaches that have these recipes, right? Meal plans, you can search 21-day fix meal plans, and boom, all these meal plans pop up, right? You can literally Google anything and learn about it, anything, right? So what I do is with Shakeology, I'll take one of their ingredients and I'll go Google it, and then I'll go learn about it, and then I'll create a post about it, right? So those are great ways to make posts in your challenge groups or make posts on your personal page, right? It's something that you learn. Go share that and teach that to somebody else, right? Go learn, help them learn something else as well. I will say this though, if you're gonna go search out any recipes, make sure you don't just share the link. Don't share the link to somebody else's website. Take the recipe, copy it into a Word document, and then if you want to make it yourself, take your own picture and make your own post about that recipe. Stop sharing other people's stuff, right? Especially if it takes them back to their page. You don't want to be doing those things. You want them to stay on your Facebook page. On Pinterest, Pinterest is a really, really good one for great information and content. So Pinterest, you can get a lot of challenge group contests, great ideas for contests. All you got to do is search, 30-day photo contest, 30-day whatever. You can find all different contests on there, whatever you want to search for. Recipes, again, you can go in there and search for 21-day fix recipes, and all these recipes will come up, or just clean eating recipes and then modify them a little bit. Fun little squat and plank challenges that you can do on your personal page, right? That's content you can be doing. Motivational quotes. Awesome place to find motivational quotes. Again, when you're doing your motivational quotes, take your own picture and put the quote on top of your picture. If you don't know how to do that, go find out. Google it. Find out how to do it, right? Or just picture ideas. So I heard another coach the other day say that she goes to Pinterest and looks at pictures of people, and gets ideas to take those pictures and then recreate them as her own, right? So like she saw a girl doing a handstand with a split, and then so she took the same idea and then did that in her own house, right? And got her husband to take the picture of her doing that and use that as her idea, right? So you can always be using these as just to create ideas to give you content for your personal page as well, right? Because on your personal pages, you need to be working at developing your content on your personal Facebook page, right? So if you're sharing your workouts, great. Start sharing your meals. Start sharing your meal plans. Start talking about, make sure you're talking about how you felt a couple years ago and you can't believe where you're at now, or this is your plate, what it looks like now, and 2 years ago it would have looked like whatever. Make sure you're talking about your struggles before and where you're at now. Sharing, sharing, sharing. The Coach Online Office. So in the Coach Online Office, there's all kinds of trainings on there. Some of them, I will say, are a bit on the salesy side, so you've got to watch that, but there's lots of information on there. There's trainings on how to handle objections. There's trainings on the invite process. There's trainings on what team cycle bonus is, how we earn money. There's all kinds of trainings in there. The FAQs, so your FAQ section at the bottom, again, you can look anything up that you need to find out information on. Live chat coach relations if you can't find an answer. Marketing tools, the marketing tools tab for your 30-day guides, and the Beachbody blog. If you guys haven't been on the Beachbody blog, you really should go check that out. That has all kinds of information on there, whether it's recipes that you can be sharing, ideas for posts like 5 ways to drink more water, or, 5 ways to gain motivation. Like, there's all kinds of articles on there that you can be reading and then taking that information and turning that into a post of your own for your own page or for your challenge groups. There's so much information on there. And on our team page, again, the new coach training, access to the FitBoss Drive, the file section. In the file section, I've got sample conversations in there. I've got your business activity tracker in there. I've got free personal development books on there. Like, there's all kinds of information in there. And in the photo section, if you check the photo section, there's been different posts over the last couple of years that I've done of posting guides. So they're daily, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday guides. And then it shows you like little snippets of what you could be posting about on your personal page to give you ideas of what you can be posting about on your personal page, right? So the whole reason behind this and being resourceful and why you should be resourceful is this business is all about duplication. So the reason we talk about how for you to understand where to go find the answers to your questions and find these resources is because this business is about duplication. When you figure out the answers and where to go and find all of this stuff, when you start growing your team, you're going to need to show your coaches where to go to find this information as well, right? So you want to be sharing that with them and showing them where to go to find the information. Because as you grow, you get busier and busier, and you don't always have time to answer the 101 questions that come through, right? Where it's easier to show them how to find it. Again, it's just like teaching someone how to build their meal plan. If you teach a man to fish, right, he'll feed himself for the rest of his life. So it's showing you where to find these resources. And we only learn it by doing it, right? So you only get better by doing it. So again, it comes back to that feeling of being overwhelmed and that feeling of confidence. The quicker you are at finding these answers on your own, the more confidence you have in answering people's questions, because you've answered the same question 6 times now. You've gone to the same place to find the same answers. You know it, right? So now you're confident in answering those questions. And then it also comes down to being overwhelmed. Like I said at the beginning, new coaches get overwhelmed because there's so much information. They don't know where to go to find these answers. It all seems to just go together and they get lost in it all, right? So again, taking it step by step and knowing which platform to go to find your answers helps with that not being overwhelmed and gives you that confidence. Again, do you need to know all of this stuff? No. Do you need to spend hours and hours doing this stuff? No, not at all. That's not the point of this. The point is to know where to go if someone asks you a question or you're looking for information or you want to know something on your own, where you can go. If you want to do some personal development, I used to go and do the YouTube trainings. That was my personal development. Instead of reading a book, I would go do some YouTube trainings. Do you need to do hour-long YouTube trainings? No. Take 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, and go do a training and then stop. Don't get sucked into the whole click on this one, click on that one, click on that one, because that's what I used to do. And then 2-3 hours would pass, right? You don't want to be doing that, because then that's when you feel like this business is taking up your whole day. You don't want to do that. You want to be structured with your time. Like, set a timer. Set a timer. Hey, I'm going to go work my business for an hour. Set a timer on your phone. When that timer goes off, you're done, right? Which helps you get more organized and more focused. So when you sit down to work, you're not scrolling Facebook, because that's not work. Scrolling Facebook is not work. Inviting, commenting, liking, All of those things are work. Scrolling is not. Okay. So don't get sucked into those things. So remember, the key is this is your business, right? You're responsible. You need to know it. In order to grow your business, you need to know it. You need to know about it and know the resources. And because we are a team, the whole point of all of this is so that we all learn, we share, we help each other, and we all grow together, right? We're only as strong as each other. And that's the best part about this whole business, is that maybe I don't know something. You've asked me a question and I don't know where it is or what it's about. That's happened with Megan a few times. She's asked me something and I'm like, hey, I'm not really sure. Why don't you go check here and then come back and tell me? And then, hey, now we both just learned something, right? It's the same way. So as you guys get growing, someone's going to ask a question on the team page. And instead of waiting for me to answer that question on the team page, one of you guys are going to know the answer. Jump in and answer that person's question, right? The more we help and support each other, the more we all help each other grow together. And that's the best part, right? That's the best part about this. That's what I love about it. Okay. I got a couple minutes left. Do you guys have any questions?
Missed that call.
You have to catch the recording, Josie.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Yeah, so any other questions about anything?
Hello guys, this is a new kid. And I
have a question. Okay, on our last call that we did, you said that you should be like posting your story twice a week and posting about the coaching opportunity twice a week.
Yep.
Do you have certain days that you do that, or is it just like when you feel like it, or?
You can be structured about it if you want to be. Sunday nights are typically always a great night to be posting about the coaching opportunity, right? Tuesdays, you should be on Tuesdays when it's Transformation Tuesday or Throwback Thursday. Those are the two best days to be sharing your story, right? So like a Throwback Thursday could be you posting an old picture of yourself and telling a story about it. That's sharing your story, right? It doesn't have to be transformation all the time, right? And it could be maybe, maybe even on a Wednesday morning you do, it's whatever you want it to be. It could be different pieces about your story. So maybe one day you talk about a throwback to, a situation in your life that impacted your life, right? Or another day you talk about, maybe this weekend you went out and you were buying new clothes and you took a picture of yourself in the changing room and told a story about how, before when you used to go shopping, how, you've been in the changing room crying before. Like today I was talking about, what really sucks when you have big thighs and a big ass is that when you try on jeans that would fit your waist, but yet you can't pull them up over your thighs. Like that's really hard to take. Like that's happened to me. That's really hard. Like, so sharing pieces of your story in that sense, right? Different pieces. Maybe you take a picture of your food tonight, your dinner, and talk about a time that before where you struggled with food and that you never would have caught yourself eating something like this. Like, that's how you share your story in different little snippets. It doesn't have to be a big, long 2-page essay. It could be just little snippets here and there of something you struggled with previously and how you're working to overcome it, right? Same as
when I'm thinking about an old Megan or the old me, or when my avatar person is on Facebook, so like it's a good time that I would post my story so that they're heading into work and they're thinking, oh, like she's at home right now working from home on her couch. That's pretty cool. Like, or Sunday nights, that's exactly why Sunday nights are a great time to post it, because people are scrolling, wishing they didn't have to go to work the next morning. Exactly. So I think it's important to think about where when and why your people are scrolling their newsfeed right now, why they're on their phone, what's coming up in their life, and when it's the perfect time for them to get their attention and use your story to do that.
Yeah, exactly. You got to find out when your people are online and what it is that they're, So, it's the same as me. Like every Sunday night, like I dread going to work on Monday. So it's a perfect time for me. You're flipping through to talk to that person I want to talk to, because my person is dreading going to work on Monday, just like me, right? So that's when I want to be talking about that and how that feels. So there's no, again, that stuff comes over time, right? You got to figure that stuff out. It's just getting started with it and getting in that groove of getting yourself talking about it. Because you got to think, as you keep adding new people, they're not going to know your story. So you might think you're being repetitive, but you're not, because so many people have not heard it. And not everybody sees your posts all the time. Like if you have 800 friends, when you post something right now, not all 800 will see them. Maybe 30 will see it, right? So that's why that's why we say you get in the groove of posting and then you just keep repeating that and repeating that. You might switch it up just a little, but you're echoing the same thing all the time, right? So you're telling your story, talking about coaching and what it's done for you, your transformation. A before and after picture is like a must. You got to be sharing that. That before and after picture, you should be sharing that at least 2 to 3 times a month. Because again, you're growing your page. You're growing and adding new friends all the time. All these people don't see that picture all the time, right? So it's something you've always got to be talking about. And talking about different pieces so that you're connecting with that person that's struggling with the same thing at that moment, right? Okay. I shall leave it at that because I only got less than a minute. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. If you have any questions, if you need any help with anything, tomorrow's a new month. So if you need any help with anything, I'll talk to you. You can certainly always message me. Awesome month though this month. You know, Josie got her first sale this month. Liz did too. Christina. You know, you guys all did great this month. Carrie back on the board this month. You know, everyone's doing really, really well. So it was a good month. This is how we start some momentum because we're coming into the fall now, which is the best time.
I got 2.
The best time leading up to January again. So now's the time to really get into that momentum, right? And start.
I got 2 though.
I know, I said that.
Oh, I thought you said I only had 1.
No, I said you had your first sale, which is 2 Success Club points.
Yeah. And then the other one was just a transfer.
Oh, that's still awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Good job.
Thanks. Thank
It's
you.
a start, right? Everybody starts. It's always exciting. So
Yeah, thanks.
All right, you guys all have a great night. It's all good seeing you. Bye.